It's been a little while since your boy OGDG talked about the WWE. WrestleMania 42, Las Vegas, what it do? Some preferably by the name of Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare QB1, has stated this might be the most sleeper WrestleMania in WWE history. And you know, for once, I might have to agree with Cody Rhodes on this. This WrestleMania has future, now, celebrities. WWE's vigilante at the moment, Seth freaking Rollins, once the leader of the Vision, now has his sights set on Gunther. Can I even do that anymore? Or should I do it? Gunther. On paper, this story doesn't have much of an explanation. Seth Rollins was beefing with the Vision, and out of nowhere, Gunther comes and chokes him out. Hey, yo! The way they're actually presenting this story to us, though, is nothing short of what we should expect. A wrestling banger in the making. Two greats, two people who consider themselves the best in the WWE. Not only them, not only Sports Illustrated, but by the masses. Gunther has one of the top arguments of being the best worker in the ring. Who else does? Seth Rollins, who claims it so proudly, who wears it on his chest. Seth freaking Rollins. And that is what Gunther hates. That's what Gunther despises. He told Seth Rollins straight to his face.
Seth Rollins can place
That brings me to the next point. Is it working? Yes. This match doesn't need much of a story when you have someone of Gunther's caliber and Seth Rollins' caliber. I wasn't as invested into this feud as I thought I would be for a match of Seth Rollins and Gunther. I thought it was a quick meal for an empty stomach. But when Gunther grabbed that mic on Monday, Gunther looked Seth Rollins dead in his eyes and basically said, no matter the accolades, no matter who you are, no matter what you think you've done, you're not that guy, pal. And until you step into the ring with the ring general, you won't be that guy, pal. And I'm going to prove it to you on the biggest stage of it all, WrestleMania. Let's take a look, though. Character-wise, does this make the most sense for Seth Rollins and Gunther? Gunther, he's the career killer. He's coming off of retiring John Cena, AJ Styles, Goldberg. I think this is perfect. I think Seth Rollins, with a multitude of other things to worry about, the one thing that he probably worries about least in kayfabe, being a good wrestler, that is now the top priority as the best wrestler in WWE. My perspective, Gunther is calling him out. He's targeting a weak spot in which Seth Rollins thought he had so secure. It just blows it out of proportion. Everything else Seth Rollins thought he had to worry about, getting back his World Heavyweight Championship, the Vision, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, it just goes out of the way because now someone is testing his gangster. Someone is testing if his words are really true. Seth Rollins, you speak a lot, you do a lot, you prove a lot, but when it really matters, can you do a lot? I think we've seen it before and we've seen it again. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Oh, baby, we have a banger pending. Now let's talk about a match that was actually planned and set up as a major staple championship match at WrestleMania. Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. Does it feel like that? Since the beginning, this has been about Liv Morgan coming back and trying to take what is hers. The Judgment Day's implosion pending, her hot as ever. But somehow this feud has turned into beefing about Stephanie Vaquer's mom? The beginning of this feud, I had high hopes. You have Liv Morgan, probably the best women's wrestler in WWE at this moment for everything that it is, the popularity, the ring work, the crowd work, just everything, attention to detail. Liv Morgan, I gotta give it to you. You were that one. But Stephanie Vaquer comes in, boom, kicking down the door. Fastest rise on the main roster we've seen for a woman. The moment Liv Morgan chose Stephanie Vaquer, it felt important, it felt special, it felt like we have the potential to see a bookmark feud. But it seems that's not what we're getting. And it brings me to the question, is that really possible when you have a story of Becky Lynch and AJ Lee being told? It's not even a groundbreaking story. It's nothing substantial. We'll talk about it later. Since the moment Liv Morgan chose Stephanie Vaquer, Dominic Mysterio has been slapped. He's become a translator. He's fighting demons. Liv Morgan's gone to Coachella and become a pop star. Stephanie Vaquer, she keeps doing the same promo over and over again, stating she'll beat Liv Morgan's ass. Stop talking about my mom. Do I think this feud is working? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. I think it will still be a great match. But as I've said, I would have booked this feud differently. We'll touch base on that later in my How I'd Book WrestleMania 42 video. The last Raw before WrestleMania, you've seen a full out brawl. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer going at each other's necks. And no matter how crazy, how sleep deprived Liv Morgan looked, I still wasn't bought in. They still couldn't grab me. I still did not become as invested into this feud as I had hoped to be for a WrestleMania 42 feud featuring the Women's World Championship. If Liv Morgan gets the win because it seems that it's best for her character in this moment, Liv Morgan getting the win, winning the championship, and somehow this intertwining with the Judgment Day, what's going on in the Judgment Day. But what happens when Stephanie Vaquer loses? Where does Stephanie Vaquer go from here? We're in unfamiliar territory with seeing Stephanie Vaquer a loser and not a champion on the main roster in WWE. So how does her booking differentiate? What feuds will she be in? How does her character develop without a championship? Will she still be on the chase? Who knows? Now let's switch up the subject a little bit. Let's get a little unhinged. Let the rules go extreme. Let's get crazy, because now WWE is completely given up. They said if you want to kill each other, go ahead, do it. Unsanctioned rules. Drew McIntyre versus Jacob. All gas, no bricks. 5-2. This feud has been brewing for a while. It's involved title wins, title losses, and now no title, just straight fighting. I believe WWE is showcasing this feud greatly. Both men are being presented as top level threats on their respective brand. But Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, I think this is what WWE needs on the regular. More high caliber rivalries and more high caliber feuds. I can take a spot like this at WrestleMania, but also be told throughout the year on WWE television. Do I think this is working? I think so greatly. WWE is doing a great job of establishing Jacob Fatu as that monster level threat that he's trying to be, not making him look too soft, but also not making Drew McIntyre look too soft as well. As I've said, both of these men are being protected, whether it be in a brawl, whether it be in a fight, whether it be in a promo. They both look strong no matter the circumstance. So WrestleMania has major implications on the line. For Fatu, this affects his future career and character as a whole. Since he debuted, he's been presented as a high caliber threat where if he puts his foot on the gas, no pun intended, he's all gas, no brakes. But we know that already. This man, Jacob Fatu, cost Drew McIntyre his title. In return, Drew McIntyre has cost Jacob Fatu opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, making it so the only way Jacob Fatu could be at WrestleMania is if I'm standing in front of you. The character of Drew McIntyre, I think he's fighting for that top position on SmackDown in that heel role. That is what he's been presented as, but actually being that top guy, I don't know. His whole championship reign, it felt second fiddle, and now it has the potential to be doubled down on by Jacob Fatu. If Drew McIntyre loses, Drew, what do you do? Let's talk about pop culture now. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's intertwine it all to wrestling. Oh my gosh, we got a 6-man tag team match with I Show Speed. Speed is fighting at WrestleMania, and why am I actually drawn to this feud? Why does it have my attention? Is it because it's I Show Speed, or is it because it's Logan Paul? Is it because it's the Usos, Jey Uso, or is it because it's LA Knight? Yeah, you have so many different options to choose from. This might be the most star-studded match in WrestleMania, if you don't count just WWE politics. The Vision has now become a group of clout-chasing opportunism. As you can see by them swooping away I Show Speed into a position he probably doesn't even know if he should be in. It started when Speed accidentally hit LA, you know the rest, with the brass knuckles causing the Usos to lose the Raw Tag Team Championships. Since then, Speed has been in a conflict with himself, the Vision, the Usos, and LA Knight. Speed is now being forced to play with the cards that he dealt to himself. He hit LA Knight, accidental or not. Now you're on the Vision side. Now you have to pose as the bad guy, even if you don't want to be. And that is the feeling I'm getting. Each promo, each time Speed is on my screen.
Man, where you been at? My life has been a disaster. I've been missing flights, late to events. Come on, bro. Curse me now.
He draws me in. We've seen Speed on our WWE screens before. He got speared by Braun Breaker. It went viral. We already know what Speed is capable of, but now we get to see him in an actual character role, tell a story. And I think he's doing a great job. His acting cues, everything is perfect. He's bringing the story deeper. He's helping the levels form. I think Speed is doing a great job. You can tell he's happy to be there and he's genuinely interested in what they're doing. Do I think this feud is working? Yes, if you don't look at it deeper than what it actually is. A star-studded WrestleMania celebrity match, which we get every single year. This year, it just happens we seem to be getting a lot more. If you actually take your time to do a character analysis on Jey Uso, on LA Knight, on a Logan Paul, does it make sense for their actual characters? Not so much. But if you look at it as that celebrity match, this might be the biggest in WWE history, as I've said. Speed bridges the gap. He's the bridge from WWE to pop culture. He's the bridge from WWE to the mainstream attention that they seek so very much. And what bigger person to do it to Speed? Speed's whole thing, his whole marketing is straight to the source. Everything Speed does is people see it in real time. That is the perks of being a streamer. That is the perks of being a business when you stream. Everything, boom, straight to the source, and WWE's capitalizing off of it greatly. This match is free. It's free on ESPN. So I show Speed on ESPN wrestling, free television to the masses. This has the potential to be huge. Will the Usos be able to cooperate with LA Knight? Will Jay and LA be able to get along? Will Jimmy be the glue that holds them together? Will Speed realize what he's doing and how he's being manipulated? Or will the Vision have their eyes set on the prize? Will the Vision be the ones raising their hands at the end of WrestleMania? Who knows? The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have a fatal 4-way tag team match. We have the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, the tag team champions, taking on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and you can look, but you can't touch. The Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie, are back at WrestleMania. Hopefully Nikki's foot is cool. Might be a little, yeah, coach, I don't know if I can go back in right now. Coach, fourth down on the goal line. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. I think that is exactly what we have here. But let's talk about the match. The way the Women's Tag Team Championships have been presented as a whole over the last year, it's been done in a way that is very in your face. They are presented as a main staple in the women's division, and many stars have held them. I think this fatal 4-way tag team match is another way to just have your woman showcase, have your woman be elevated, and that's what WWE is doing. Look at who's in this match. All of the teams in this match have been fighting for positioning. They've been trading wids. They've been interfering in each other's matches. There's real life beef being developed. I say real life, but we're talking in the kayfabe context of the WWE squared circle. The Irresistible Forces, you have Nia Jax paired with Lash Legend. Two powerhouses. I love this tag team combination. I love that Lash Legend gets to learn from somebody who's been in her position. A Nia Jax, a former world champion, a former Andre the Giant Women's Royal Rumble, whatever it's called. But Nia Jax has done it all. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, probably the most well-decorated fan favorites in this match. Charlotte Flair, a legend, multi-time world champion. Alexa Bliss, big pop, probably will get the biggest pop of the night, even with the Bella Twins in this match, even with it being WrestleMania. You know how they are for Alexa Bliss. Bayley and Lyra, they're probably the most story-driven pair in this match. Their story has been being developed for months, it feels like, since Lyra Valkyria has been on the main roster. That's in my head. That's what it feels like. It feels like we've had Bayley and Lyra Valkyria on our screens forever. I'm not complaining, but god damn. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, inseparable. I just want to see this pair go in a clear direction. Are they going to win the championships or not? Is Bayley going to turn crazy? Are her and Lyra going to feud? Give me a last man standing. Let them bleed. Do something. Make it go somewhere. You can't be dragging it out for this. Let something happen, please. The Bella Twins, you already know what they're there for. They're the main attraction in this match. You can look, but you can't touch, no matter how much you want to. Hey, yo. What? I think this is a good way to have the Irresistible Forces still look dominant and lose the championships, because multi-man, especially tag team matches, they don't need the champion to be involved. Any team can be pinned. The weakest link can be pinned, or the strongest link can be pinned. You can have Brie Bella pin Charlotte Flair. What sense does that make? It doesn't, but it's WrestleMania. Is the build to this match working? Does it make sense? I think so. Yes, as I've stated before, the women's tag division, it's a beautiful disaster. It's full of chaos. You never know what's going to happen, and it's been one of the most well-presented WWE divisions of the year. I'm sure there'll be multi-team spots. I'm sure each team will get time to shine. I'm sure each individual will get a respective moment in the match. Now, let's talk about one of the main events. Captain Cody, Mr. Win the Bell 5 times in a year. Mr. You can't beat me. John Cena's gone, but now you can see me taking on I hear voices in my head. Mr. Randy Orton, the man I got to see win the Elimination Chamber in person. Randy Orton is on his path to becoming what? A 15, 16? It doesn't matter. He's going for that #1 spot. And Randy Orton's trying to do it at WrestleMania. Mentor versus protege. Student versus teacher. Randy versus Cody. We're finally getting it. You can say this match started at Elimination Chamber, but we know this match has been developing for years. It's been teased more than OnlyFans models Twitter. But let's say this feud did start at Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton, he wins the Elimination Chamber. He's now heading to the WrestleMania main event. Him in the WWE World Championship, they'll be in the match no matter what. We expected to be Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes was just in the Elimination Chamber. No way he's gonna win the championship the next week. And I don't think Randy Orton thought he'd be in this situation. As when they were having that contract signing, whoa. Oh, what the hell? It's your boy OGDG in the editing bay. We're live from the editing bay. But as I'm editing this video, look at this dude Cody Rhodes' face. Look at him just tapping on the desk like he's not about to get slimed out 10 seconds later. You think with names like Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, they'd have enough investment from the crowd to not need to bring in extra names, to not need to make this feud more than what it is. Student versus teacher, protege, mentor. It could have been told so many different ways just from that standpoint alone. Instead, Pat McAfee's in Randy Orton's corner and Cody Rhodes is in jelly rolls? I said that wrong, but you know what I mean. That's how absurd it is. What are we doing? I get it. Trust me, I get it. If we're talking about a straight business point, which is why I will never knock WWE for doing something absurd like this, because no matter how much the IWC wants to complain and be parasocial over their favorite wrestler, it is a business at the end of the day. They're gonna do what is best for business. They're gonna do what brings in the money, and we've seen that very so evidently since TKO was taken over. But I just didn't think it would be this soon to this extent. Two celebrities in the main event of WrestleMania. It's not uncharted territories. This is how WrestleMania started. Come on. I do think Pat McAfee was a great choice though. I think it is everything against what the WWE Universe expected and wanted. And I think for the position they're trying to portray Randy Orton in this road to WrestleMania, the villain, but everybody loves him either way, so you know he's gonna get cheered. You don't want that. And that's where Pat McAfee comes in. Why the fuck is Pat McAfee in the WrestleMania main event? This is why. The attention Randy Orton was getting, the cheers they've turned into boos, and they're not even so directly directed at Randy Orton. This man, Pat McAfee, is standing on television claiming, Cody Rhodes, you're not doing anything for WWE. I'm here because WWE needs me. You call yourself QB1, you call yourself the man who's carrying WWE on his back. Yet I'm in this position. You have him feuding with CM Punk. You have him, Pat McAfee, he's the heat magnet right now. He's basically TKO's spokesperson. And that is why he is so hated. Why are you in this position, TKO? Why are you talking like this, TKO? No. Everything that the IWC hates, it's just Pat McAfee right there. McAfee, no matter what you want, he's printing money. Do I think it's working? Yes. But do I think it's being portrayed as its fullest potential? No. I do think WWE has overcomplicated a lot of things that could have really been simple. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton as a character as a whole. This could have been the perfect WrestleMania feud, but it does feel like the closer we get to WrestleMania, the less this match is about Randy Orton. And this could be, as I've said, due to the fact that he's going to get cheered no matter what. So let's have somebody else be that heat magnet. Let's have somebody else be the deflector. Let's have Randy Orton's heat come from an outside source. But what the fuck is Jelly Roll doing? Why is Jelly Roll there? I do think this feud, though, this match, it has the potential to be looked back on as one of the WrestleMania greats, even if the story in modern times is being seen as a what is going on? This is a new era of WWE, and I feel like we are in the new times. The new characters are being developed. It's new land being paved for us. And this WrestleMania, it's going to be looked at as a monumental moment in Cody Rhodes' career, in Cody Rhodes' WWE Championship history, and Randy Orton. It could be the passing of the torch moment. These moments, these stories, they're being catered to a younger audience, so these moments will be held with them. These are moments they'll be invested in. These are moments they'll remember. But us, the older, the average, we've been around for a while. We know how this goes. We see it for what it is. This is where the thoughts come in. Do I think it'll be a good match? It's Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton in the main event of WrestleMania. Why don't we talk about a match that has major stipulation in the real world, in the world of professional wrestling, kayfabe in and out? Jade Cargill, the Storm versus Rhea Ripley. This is my brutality. I used to do that with quite confidence. I used to do that enjoying it, being a Rhea Ripley fan. But this feud, it's brought more layers to Rhea Ripley. It's allowed me to see her from a new perspective. And I don't know if I'm so behind Rhea Ripley. Somehow, some way they got into an altercation on Twitter. And since then, the IWC, the WWE, it's all been intertwined into make a hot mess. We're going to talk about something deeper than wrestling here for a moment. This feud, it kind of intertwines exactly what's going on in America. The race war, the culture war. And it seems that's being presented through Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, as Rhea Ripley is being met with excuse after excuse and Jade Cargill is being scrutinized. She's being punished for just what? For what? Okay, I've now switched locations. Since Jade Cargill has been on the main roster and specifically a Women's World Championship, it feels like she's been dropped above the rest of the division. The rest of the division looks up to her, and respectfully so. The woman who's been on top of the WWE Women's Division, the woman who's been the apex predator, Rhea Ripley, she's not going to allow that to happen without a fight. No matter how many times she tries to farm hate on Jade Cargill, it's weird. Jade Cargill is presented as this beautiful, black, dominant force, this irresistible force, this storm. You enter her radar and she's gonna swipe you away. She's gonna take you down. And it's been presented that way since she's debuted. Rhea Ripley, she's the exact opposite, just skin color. And I hate talking about color of people's skin, and I hate how it's a dividing factor in between us as humans. But Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, this could just be what happens when two top of the line apex predators come head to head. Whoa, Trick, what? Don't be silly taking on, whoa. Sami Zayn. In this match, this story, it's more interesting than I thought it would be. You have Trick Willie, a megastar in the making, a man who believes he belongs in this moment. But then you have the complex character of Sami Zayn on the other side, the man who is the champion. But does it really feel like that in this moment? No matter what, Sami Zayn is always the underdog. He doesn't walk into matches trying to prove he's the best. We know he can go in the ring. He's trying to prove he belongs. And now it feels like that ever much so than ever. Is Sami Zayn going to turn heel? It's actually quite the perfect way for Sami Zayn's character to develop. He's been shown as this underdog, but now these moments that he's actually earning and gaining, there seem to be up to question by somebody like Trick Williams. It feels more like a test for Trick Williams. We know you have the charisma, the charm, the character, but can he really work? We've seen it in NXT, but we've never seen it on the main roster to a standpoint like this, which is his first WrestleMania feud. Every week, Trick Williams is the one getting the last laugh, the upper hand. But this could be part of Sami Zayn's plan. What happens when all that confidence wears down? What happens when I get you into the deep waters fighting for a championship on WrestleMania, Trick Williams? What's going to happen then? Can you really go? Are you going to be able to kick out of a haluva kick? Are you going to be able to kick out? In general, Trick Williams, do you have what it takes? Dirty, dirty dom. Dirty, dirty dom. Like I said, if you've watched my Booking Elimination Chamber video, you would have known I already brought back the Demon. He beat CM Punk for the championship at Elimination Chamber. He wouldn't have even been in this situation. But instead, we get the Judgment Day's implosion right in front of our eyes. Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, WrestleMania. The sight is set. This feud is being presented solely through tension, and it's been that way, I think, basically the whole Judgment Day. All of Judgment Day's stories, yes, they're beatdowns, yes, they're sneak attacks, yes, they're ambushes, but everything the Judgment Day does, there's some sort of tension built through it. From Damian Priest's betrayal, from Edge's betrayal, everything that the Judgment Day does, there's some sort of tension into it. And that's the perfect recipe for what this match is becoming at WrestleMania. And I think Finn Balor bringing the Demon back, using the Demon, this is his last chance. Finn Balor realizes everything around him is changing. He couldn't capture the World Championship. He wasn't in the Royal Rumble. Now he's going against a man who he thought was his protege, a man who he called his stepson. What? Now I'm going against you. I have to bring out my last resort. I have to go down to the trenches. I have to go down to the man who I think is the only source of energy, the only source of momentum I have to propel myself forward into this new generation. And if Dominic Mysterio wins, he's basically solidifying that. Finn Balor, your time is over. Your time is over. I used the Judgment Day and I used you to propel me into this spot to beat you. You were nothing but a stepping stone in the career of Dominic Mysterio. A championship hanging above the ring? Banger incoming. Key word of this match is survival. Penta's reign has been about surviving, and now he has to survive from all the different angles. Ladders coming at him. Bouncy Javon Evans, his first major WrestleMania match, his first chance at singles gold. I may be wrong, but correct me if I am. Oh my God, Dragon Lee, maybe the most naturally built person for a ladder match, but you have Rey Mysterio, who in my eyes, in my mind, the only ladder match I really remember Rey Mysterio being in is the one where he's fighting for custody of a kid. What? Dominic Mysterio, the man who we just talked about, the man who is Dirty Dom, the man who's basically kicking Finn Balor out of his career, was hanging above the ring. What? Nah, not literally. He was sitting at ringside and it was a briefcase, but it sounds bad. Argue with a wall. It doesn't matter what you think. I think JD McDonough is a great in-ring worker when he was Jordan Devlin and JD McDonough. So JD McDonough, he has a future if he can find that spot, and hopefully his talents are showcased in this match to help him do that. Rusev Puchria, Rusev Mashka, a man who's just going to be smashing his way in this match. He's the big monster. People are going to be throwing ladders at him. He might even get buried under the ladders. But Rusev, he's trying to prove he came back to WWE for something. He's trying to redeem his career. This might be the match I'm most invested in for this WrestleMania. The Beast Incarnate taking on the next big thing. Wow, how ironic. Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. Since the beginning of this feud, when Oba Femi did come behind the curtains, when he did confront Brock Lesnar, when he did let it be known that he will be accepting this Beast Invitational, oh my gosh, that moment there, it lit the fire. It lit the moment that we might be watching Brock Lesnar's torch being passed in real time. We're truly witnessing a star develop. You're seeing the crowd become more and more behind Oba Femi as the weeks go on, and it's been in full display, and Brock Lesnar has been in full support.
Oba Femi, get your ass out here right now.
Shout out to you, Brock Lesnar. Shout out to you, because I'm watching a worker work in real time. We've seen what it's like to be lazy, Brock Lesnar. We've seen WrestleMania 32 against Dean Ambrose. Seeing Brock Lesnar invested in actually caring about a feud, it is great to see, truly. The way this feud is being presented on TV is the way it should be. Two powerhouses, two badasses, two monsters, two rulers of the land, two beasts. Simply put, two beasts. One Nigerian and one incarnate. Okay. Seeing the way the crowd's reaction has become increasingly louder every time Oba Femi comes out, it's incredible to see. He literally had tears in his eyes. He slammed down Brock Lesnar, threw him out of the ring, and boy, the crowd, that was the first moment we heard the Oba, to that effect on the main roster. Boy, I had chills. We're witnessing it in real time. In the last Raw before WrestleMania, Oba Femi, he grew his mic badges? Oba Femi Hall of Fame mic threat? What? Oba Femi got on the mic and he let it be known, I'm not just a ruler, I'm the ruler on the mic too. Brock Lesnar, what's gonna happen with Brock Lesnar? Because as I've said, Brock Lesnar hasn't looked the strongest, he hasn't looked the weakest, but we definitely haven't seen someone stand toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar on this level and be as confident as Oba Femi heading into WrestleMania. It leaves me with the question, is Brock Lesnar gonna do the big one? Is he gonna beat Oba Femi? Is Oba Femi gonna become another Kofi Kingston, another Bobby Lashley? Is Oba Femi gonna fall to the Beast? I don't think it would make sense. I don't think it would make sense. I could see it happening though, and it making sense with it being a great match, and Brock Lesnar doing his best to make Oba Femi look great on the road to this match. But when the match actually happens, I'm the guy. You're a rookie. I've been in this position every year, year after year, coming into WrestleMania as a champion. Bitch, I made Roman Reigns. I am this. I am this moment. I don't know if Brock Lesnar will give it up so easy, but Brock Lesnar's career might be coming to an end, and this might be the first domino that falls. This might be the first part of seeing Brock Lesnar being laid to rest in a WWE ring. Brock Lesnar loses to Oba Femi. That just allows the door for Gunther to walk in and tap him out. You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going? Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi, I'm seated. The WrestleMania main event. Every superstar only looks forward to this moment in their career. And this year, Sunday's main event, we get to see a man who we've seen many times. A man who, when I think of the WrestleMania main event, I think of this person. Roman Reigns. TC1. OTC. Acknowledge him. He's taking on the best in the world, self-proclaimed CM Punk. Is this a match I ever thought we'd get? Is this a WrestleMania main event I'd ever think we'd see? No, but we're getting it. Let's talk about it. The man who got the crown handed to him and ran with it. It took him a little while, but when we think of an era, we think of Roman Reigns. We think of that 1,000 plus day as world heavyweight, universal, WWE, undisputed, whatever championship he held. Punk, a man who walked away, a man who had enough fuck you money, he took his ball and ran with it. The voice of the voiceless. Now all of these voices are being heard. They're heard echoing throughout the arena night in and night out, chanting for CM Punk. They've solely got him into this position. Not saying CM Punk did anything, but let's be real, Phil. CM Punk's whole career, he's been the self-proclaimed best in the world. I am the best this business and profession has to offer. But now he's going against a guy who can actually stand 10 toes down in those shoes. A guy who has real claim to it. A guy who's main evented WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania. You're here because I allowed you back into this place. Slowly but surely, you've seen Roman Reigns turn back into the man we know, the man we once acknowledged so freely and proudly. OTC, TC1, our tribal chief. I think why this feud is so interesting, it's because CM Punk, in a way, he hates Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is everything CM Punk wanted to be. Roman Reigns straight up calls CM Punk old. He's unking him. You're not made for this generation, Phil. Your time has passed. It's time for the fall off. You're not part of this anymore. This is my place. Everything that happens around here stems from me, and you're just here because I've allowed it. You can sense the character. You can sense the real ego. You can sense what's real, what's not. Or maybe you can't. Maybe that's just how great these two are at their job. Did Roman Reigns revolutionize WWE? I don't know, but he surely got us to what we are today. And again, what the world is, how these systems are in play, how people make money. Roman Reigns is at the head of that in today's WWE. He single-handedly pushed them into this era of the business and into this point of the world that we live in. He's done so in what us wrestling fans have come to acknowledge as cinema, just because of how great Roman Reigns is and what he was able to do with his storytelling throughout the pandemic leading to this point. CM Punk says, this is just wrestling. This is wrestling, buddy. But in my eyes, Roman Reigns is a complete package. It's all of the tools. You can't be a hater, CM Punk, because you can't do that. Simply, you're mad because what? Because of what?
Roman Reigns is not here tonight.
Only one of these dudes has been the big dog. Only one of these dudes has been forced to eat dog food for a weird old man. In conclusion, I think Roman Reigns and CM Punk is working greatly. It is quite literally a contrast of each other. They are each other's worst and best selves coming against each other. What? CM Punk and Roman Reigns, did we know it was possible? No. Will we know what is possible? Yes. Come Sunday, April 19th. Roman Reigns, CM Punk main event of WrestleMania. Oh my gosh. Hopefully you guys enjoyed us touching base again, talking about WWE, getting back on subject. I apologize. I really sincerely do apologize for the delay in content. The Chicago video was a high. There'll be another video coming out on my main page, OG Donnie. It'll explain it more in depth. Stay tuned for that. But until we get there, we are still on this road to WrestleMania. Enjoy this video. Enjoy my how I'd book WrestleMania videos coming out as well. These will be a little more in-depth, a little more creative, a little more why this should happen because this has happened. Today, we were just touching base, seeing what we thought and how we're feeling on this road to WrestleMania. Is it working? What do you think? Do you think this build, do you think these stories that are being told, are they working? Are these characters being portrayed to their fullest extent? Are these matches making the most sense? What match are you most excited for heading into WrestleMania? Let me know down below. Answer all of these questions. We're only getting closer. You know me, OGDG.